Thank you. Well, really nice standing here, also being the only one who doesn't have to wear the mask. So that's great for a bit. Great to be alive, but also like the virtual aspect of it. I would like to very much talk about the secret to disruptive manufacturing, but actually it's not just a secret. It's not really a secret. It's more story or stories to tell. And ATS Global has been in manufacturing for 30 years in 25 countries globally. And we have quite a lot of stories to share. And we would like to do that today with you. Actually, I was doing this with a colleague of mine, Martine Melis. He may still be arriving, but he got stuck in travel. So I will be improvising a bit, but maybe he will join us later so that you know what happens. So basically what we have is that we talk to manufacturers a lot, and it's all about productivity. Productivity to be able to respond to market demand faster and better. That's the name of the game. And everything has to be faster because the market is moving faster. The only thing is, how do we do this? And this is our number one question that we get from customers all the time. It's really a simple question. How do I roll out my shop floor IT system to an X number of plants in an X number of years? And there's always good intentions to say, okay, we'll do this in this many plants in so many years. And actually, those deadlines are not very often met. Now, the question is, why is that? Why is that happening? So really, it comes down, we think, to these four themes. So if we are scalable, then we can speed things up if we are truly scalable. If we do this with the user in mind, we can actually get all the value out of it. And if we make it sustainable, and now I'm not talking about the environmental sustainability, also important, but I mean using the latest and making sure you always have the latest, you always have this future-proof solution. And affordability, yes, we want this to be affordable. Now, the scalability is about, do you have the technology to be able to scale? Is that in place in your organization? Now, on the left side of this slide, you see the industry automation period we all know. So nothing new there. On the right side, you see the technologies of Industry 3 and Industry 4. Now, the first thing that strikes actually is that none of the technologies in Industry 3 are really scalable technologies. They are simply not able to produce outside of their physical environment. In Industry 4, you see that all the technologies are scalable. So why not move from 3 to 4 easily? Now, of course, there's always the investment, the investments we've made and the investments we should make to get there. But what is more important is the legacy we have. And then I mean the legacy of the mind, because we feel we need to understand all the technology. We work with large IT departments, with senior people who understand it all, because that's the way we've always done it, which is quite different from the technology used in Industry 4. And we do both within ATS. So the question is, are the cloud apps ready? Well, they are, but are we? Are we ready for this? Usability is a story about getting the value out of what you build. Now, the 3.0 technologies were built 90% based on the technology, maybe 10% based on the user. Whereas 4.0 technology is built more on the user. I wouldn't say it's exactly entirely the way around, saying 90% user and 10% technology, but there's a clear shift there. It's basically like having an iPhone You use it so much better because it is very intuitive and it's been made solely with the user in mind. That's also the way that we should try and operate and create new solutions and be more productive. Then the sustainability. This is about using different models, different business models as a service. This is different for us. In the world of internet companies, this came very logically because internet was free, social media is free. So there was no other choice but to adopt these models. But within manufacturing, that has been quite different. So how do we prepare to always have that latest? Look at this. This is infrastructure as code, where we are currently talking about a lot. This is building your own cloud environment, have your own infrastructure that runs all your apps, just like that, without any physical configuration necessary. This is about very much agility. In the presentations earlier today, there was a lot of talk about being agile. Gives you more agility, more control, more consistency, and it can integrate much more easily. So looking at it from that perspective, you get an ongoing model that will always provide you with the latest. Yeah, it is responding. So within ATS, we work together with all these technical parties because you really have to build the ecosystem. And we are certified at all these, but we have a lot of conversations about how do you get the industry of manufacturing to adopting those new technologies and do that in the right way. So back to the question of how, and that delivers new stories. And then, of course, there's the question of affordability. So what does this all mean? And how can we really get the benefit out of doing this? So the question is, do you have a scalable business that can benefit from SaaS business models? Who can truly say that? I don't see anyone nodding yet. And that's this dialogue as well. So in terms of making choices here, do we still feel we need to understand all the technologies we use to increase our productivity? Do we still feel that we need to have a large team in place with all the experts, or do we trust other parties to deliver as a service always the latest technology? And what does that mean to our business, and how can we transition there? Then there's, of course, the trade-off between CAPEX and OPEX, which is also an interesting question that we talk about a lot. And then the fact that you could work with totally different team of people. You do not need all the senior people anymore. You can work with novices who work with the technology partners and basically maintain the technology. And do it always with the user in mind. Any questions so far? No? Okay. So basically, summing up the story of what we are talking about with our customers a lot is you can save money. You can have more user-friendly, user-centric solutions, and you can get more agility. But it's really a mind shift. It's a shock of the new to get towards that conversation.